headed out. We woke up to snow this morning, but luckily the roads are fine. So we're headed out. We're headed to Florida. We're in Chattanooga. So we're going to go 6 hours to Lake City, Florida, to the Best Western there. Yes, very classy. And then we have 11 a.m. check-in tomorrow. The first, I think it's as early as you can get checked in if you're not like special, and we're not. So let's go on a cruise.
We arrived at Port Tampa Bay right around 11 a.m. It was a little more stressful than Port Canaveral, only because it's in a downtown area. So we dropped our bags off, and then there is different options for parking, but we parked in the official port parking garage located right across the street for $68 a day.
Yeah.
Boarding was very quick and easy. We dropped our luggage, and so we were not carrying it on with us. All we had to do was slide through security, which there was no wait for, present our boarding passes, no wait either, and walk on. I was so excited.
Are you happy and excited?
Sure.
You enter the ship on the exterior of Deck 5. You can immediately complete muster by finding your muster station assignment located on your set sail pass. Find the muster sign corresponding and show your set sail passes to the safety personnel to scan. They do ask that you watch a safety video in the app prior to boarding or right after. The first amenity that we happened upon was Casino Royale. You must be at least 18 years old to enter and are welcome to play. There are slots, poker tables, roulette tables, a craps table, and blackjack tables and machines. The casino stayed pretty crowded the entire cruise, and it was often difficult to find a spot at table games if that's what you're into. There's a bar located within Casino Royale, as well as many helpful waiters and waitresses around, happy to take your drink order. And immediately leaving the casino, we spotted the first bar on board, Bolero's. And we intended to wait, but we couldn't help but indulge in our first drink on board. We learned here that Royal Caribbean does offer a drink of the day each day for $8.50, which is about a 40% discount from the mixed drink prices. On day one, the drink of the day was Goombay Smash, Malibu coconut rum, Kraken rum, orange juice, and pineapple juice. This is a very cool bar in a central location between the casino and the atrium. Because of the windows, you have lots of natural light, which has been hard to come by on other cruises we've been on, and you also have gorgeous views.
You want pineapple?
Yeah. What do you think? You like it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a fruity drink. What's not to like, you know?
I got the Paloma. It's Patron, silver, tequila, lime juice, and grapefruit juice. So perfect. Delicious. Really strong tequila taste, but then you don't get like the nastiness of the tequila at the end. It's grapefruit instead. Highly recommend the Paloma.
And with that, we made our way up all the way to Deck 9, the pool deck. There was nothing left to do but sit our butts down, soak up the sun. It was still a little chilly. Thought my friend's kid needed me right there, but she didn't. And we were ready just to wait on the Sailaway party. While we take a gander around Royal Caribbean's Enchantment of the Seas, I want to give you some information on the ship, pricing info, and talk through pre-registration and boarding. Enchantment of the Seas was first launched in 1996, so she's turning 29 this year in 2025, but they have consistently renovated and updated this ship. The most notable being in 2005 when they cut the boat in half, added in 73 feet of new boat, and put it back together. For the interior decks, that updated the atrium, and then it of course added the important deck space on top for having a good time and lounging about. As far as price goes, you're not going to get sticker shock here. The price of this cruise in total was $1,050. That's right, $1,050 in total. So all in, we were at $525 per person. That's for an interior room, so there's no lower grade stateroom than what we booked, and we also have not added on any drink packages or experiences. Now beware that, as with most travel, the price will fluctuate based on all kinds of factors. I can tell you that the price for the same room on the same cruise about 1 month prior to sailing had risen about $200 per person from what we paid, and 2 weeks prior to sailing had risen another $200 per person. So don't wait until the last minute to book this cruise. Preparing to board this cruise starts with pre-registration. Pre-registration begins at midnight, 45 days prior to your embarkation. That is midnight in the time zone that the ship is in. You can complete check-in anytime within that 45-day window, but I recommend checking in as early as possible. Registering for arrival times are first come, first serve. So checking in as soon as pre-registration opens gives you a really good chance to get your preferred arrival time. For us, that's going to be as soon as they're allowing guests to come on board. For both pre-registration and especially boarding, downloading the Royal Caribbean app is recommended. It will make the pre-registration process easier, and you will have all of your cruise information at your fingertips for when you need it. And that leads us to boarding. To board the ship, you must have the travel documents that you use for pre-registration in your hand. I recommend getting a passport if you don't have one and using that. Even though passports are not required for many cruises, I find using the passport is easiest because you just need that one document and you're all set. Your passport does have to be valid during your cruise plus 6 months. If you don't have a passport, you can use a birth certificate for this cruise, but it must be an original, and if you're over 15 years old, you must also have a valid government ID with you. The last thing you must do in order to board the cruise is to answer the health questions. This cannot be done until the day prior to your sailing. To answer your health questions, you can go back into the check-in area in your app or the website and answer those questions for each guest. All that's left to do now is to get to your terminal, present your travel documents and your set sail pass that can be found in your Royal Caribbean app, and embark. Once you've made it on board, it can take up to a couple hours to gain access to your stateroom and receive your checked luggage. This is no sweat for us, as we are much more eager to find some lunch and explore the ship than to get to our room. But this means any items you may need or want, such as medications or a swimsuit in case you want to head straight on up to the pool, whatever else, anything you will want or need immediately when you get on board, you'll want to carry that on the boat with you. And one more thing. Cruisers that are at least 21 years of age are typically allowed to bring alcohol aboard cruise ships, and this ship is no different. This must be carried on the ship and cannot be packed in your checked luggage. For your information, Royal Caribbean's policy is to allow each adult to bring 1 bottle of wine aboard with them. However, neither beer nor liquor are permitted. And at promptly 1 p.m., there was an announcement that our rooms were ready. And so we're on our way to check out our room. All right, we boarded at 11 a.m. They said our rooms will be ready at 1 o'clock. They are. Our luggage is not here yet, but let's take a peek at room 2029 on Enchantment of the Seas. We are like pretty, what is this app? Forward. We're like near the front of the ship. So let's take a look at our room. Okay, so we camp, and so this feels pretty spacious to us because our camper is small, but a really good sized bed. It's probably a queen, don't you think? Okay, mirror to make the room feel larger. Nice spacious sitting area. You could even probably fit like a toddler on there. Okay. And then lots of nice shelves and things to store stuff, drawers, and I think I'm going to unpack because normally I can't find anything that I want to wear because I can't figure out my luggage, but lots of like storage, a safe here, okay, and shelves for all your things. I love that like it's just sleeping and getting ready area, so really great getting ready area. And there might be a light here. Oh, yeah. So, oh. Okay, don't worry about that. Don't know why there's a phone light. I don't even know what that is. Anyway, so really good lighting for getting ready. Love this getting ready area. If you're a guy,
you probably think this is wasted space, but I think it's great. More drawers. Oh, hair dryer, tissues, good drawers, good chair, and then let's see, pretty nice closet with lots of hangers and more drawers. So I like that a lot. Live vest. And then a lot of cruise ships have like the 2 separate bathrooms where like the throne is in one area and the shower's in another, but this is all together, so that'll be fun. But it gets the job done. It's good enough. And I've never had such great mirrors. Like, you can stand right here and see exactly what you look like from like all sides. So that's room 2029 on Enchantment of the Seas. How'd you think embarkation was?
Wasn't bad. It was easy. I mean, we've only been on the other one, on the one Disney cruise, and I like the fact that you don't have to go through the whole muster station. Disney, we had to go down and waste, 30 minutes or so? 45 minutes probably, having to go down. This was easy. You just had to stop by there, and I guess we'll have to watch a video later. Like I said, I think the ports, I like Canaveral better, but we don't know if that's Disney or if that's a Disney's compared to Royal Caribbean, or if it's the port, but it felt a little more hectic. It seemed like they were a smaller port, and so a lot of people kind of piled on top of each other. But that was smooth. When once we got in, it was fast. They moved you where you got to go, and we got in easily. So I didn't think it was tough at all. Very, very easy.
All right, we've gotten on. I had a couple drinks. I needed a coffee, even though the weather ended up beautiful. So the weather's beautiful. And I love the soundtrack. They were just playing Britney Spears and now it's Backstreet Boys. So, this is good stuff.
Feels like a good time to mention that the coffee, tea, juice, ice cream are all free during the Royal Caribbean cruise, and the coffee was delicious. All right, it's finally time for the Sailaway party at 4 p.m. The one downside to getting on the boat so early is that it does take a while for the Sailaway party to come. But this was by far the most crowded I ever saw the deck. There was always plenty of chairs, always plenty of space, always a table if you wanted one. So I was very pleased with that. But the Sailaway party was fun. They played music for everybody to dance. And this is a great port to sail out of because there's a lot of scenery to look at on your way out. This is also a great time to open up your Royal Caribbean app and look at the activities they have planned for the cruise and start adding those to your schedule. So like trivia, bingo, DJ parties, things like that, you can see when they're going to hold that stuff. Speaking of trivia, that's where we headed next, to the Schooner Bar right off the atrium on deck 6 in the back of the boat. We walked in here. They were finishing up sports trivia, and the place was packed. We were here for country music trivia, and surprisingly, when sports trivia finished up, this emptied out a little bit, and we were able to get a table for our crew. Now, our performance was not as impressive as I'd hoped, being the Southerners that we are, but it was definitely a blast.
All right, so here we are. We're doing the thing. We did end up getting the drink package, and it was $10.99 per day per person, and we have drank a ton. It's a Coca-Cola Freestyle beverage thing, so the options are endless. But we're having a great time. We hung out on.
And by the way, that's just for sodas and not alcoholic drinks.
Just for sodas. It's a soda package. So we got on. We hung out on the pool deck for a long time. Watched the Sailaway party. I was able to get on the app and heart all the things, or add to my calendar all the things that I wanted to do. And so we have tons of things we're going to do. And so we just finished up at the
first activity that we put on our calendar, which was country music trivia, which we scored 10 out of 20, which is sad because we're probably like, we're the Southerners. We should be able to do it. But anyway, so it's 6 o'clock now. We've been away from port like a couple hours now. And so we had time to play trivia. I think we're going to go get ready because there's some more trivia we want to play for movie tunes. Some other people from our group are going to go up to the deck and watch a movie on the full deck screen. So yeah, and then we'll have dinner. We have dinner with our group at 7:45, and then I think we're going to go to the casino after that. What's your favorite part so far?
A little while I got to sit at the pool in a chair. The nachos were pretty good.
Yeah.
Found a small little nacho bar.
Yeah.
That was open after the Windjammer closed.
Yeah.
And that worked out pretty well.
All right. So far, this is a great cruise. Like, no, we don't have a lot of experience, and no, there's not 75 amenities, but we are sailing on the water, as you can see, and there's bars and there's activities. I mean, for me, and I don't know what else I would want. So I'm good with our little cheap cruise here. So. All
right, it's about 7:20. So as you can see, we've gotten dressed up a little bit, freshened up. We're going to go to dinner tonight with our group. As far as I know, every night is in the dining room, My Fair Lady. So we're going to do that. And then I think we're going to go to the casino. So I'm ready for some food, that's for sure. I'm hungry.
Same here.
Night one in the My Fair Lady dining room featured American fare. I was interested in several of the starters as well as the main courses. I have to say almost every appetizer listed was tempting to me. The Caesar salad is always a go-to for me. I know the shrimp cocktail would have been good. I always love crab cakes as well. And then I have to say the same about the main courses. The fish fillet looked great. And fried chicken, New York strip, prime rib. I wanted all of it, to be honest. We started with bread service, and they were offering a sourdough slice and a wheat roll accompanied with butter. I don't know if we were just hungry, but it was delicious. For the starter, I had a very hard time deciding, but went with the escargot la bourguignon, just because I had never had escargot and didn't know when I would be able to again. This was baked snails in garlic parsley butter sauce, and it was delicious. The breadstick that came along with it didn't taste like much, but it was a great way to soak up the rest of that garlic butter sauce after I'd eaten the snails, because I couldn't let that sauce go to waste. For main courses, Dusty went for the slow-roasted prime rib. This was tender beef, creamy mashed potatoes, broccoli, sautéed carrots, and horseradish au jus. Dusty said this was okay. He had high expectations, and they were not met. He said that the meat was a little stringy. But next, I went for the Southern fried chicken. This was seasoned crispy chicken with Tabasco honey, buttery mashed potatoes, and sweet corn on the cob. The fried chicken was very good. The mashed potatoes and corn were pretty bland, but when I added salt and butter to them, they were good. But the fried chicken dipped in the Tabasco honey stole the show. This needs to be part of my everyday life. I was very pleased with this dinner, although the sides were nothing special. It was very solid. And the very first morning of our vacation, I realized that I did not turn my alarms off for work. And so I woke up at 5 a.m. and couldn't go back to sleep. And here's the thing about Royal Caribbean TV. It's not very good. And so when Dusty woke up a little bit later, and he is a morning person, whereas I'm not, we went on up to the top deck to see if we could find any food. Windjammer didn't open till 7, and it was not quite 7. So you're going to see here your food options prior to 7 a.m. And I think that they offer these all night long. But it was really cool to be on the top deck prior to sunrise. There was hardly anybody up there. And I really wished that I was somebody that could get up early every morning like Dusty is. But yeah, I never saw prior to
Are you sure? Because that's the
like
back of the boat. That was the wind.
9 or 10 a.m. again on this trip.
Something's wrong with us, and we can't sleep. So Windjammer's not even open. So
She can't sleep.
So we found coffee. They make their coffee very strong, and it's amazing. So we're gonna give some of these a try. We don't even know what they are. There was no sign.
We're gonna give them a try.
So what is it?
It's it's cinnamon, something cinnamon. Maybe it should be banana bread, but I can't tell.
Let's see if I agree.
Do what?
Let's see if I think it's good. Tastes like maybe just a sweet bread.
Yeah.
Kind of tastes like almost like a corn muffin, but kind of
Right.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I like it.
Now this is very interesting. We're not sure at all what this is, but it's pink. I don't know if you can tell, but that's pink. So, really interested to try
That's
that.
pretty good.
Yeah, I like that. But I love that. It's like a sweet corn muffin
Yeah.
to me. This looks like it's like a baguette, but it's like strawberry or something. That's weird. That's like tastes like sourdough.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the picture you ate. You can see something's in it. I mean, it's got some kind of fruit in it or something. But I don't really get a whole lot of it.
Try that. Not even sure what fruit that
A lot
is.
with this, but you get it.
What kind of fruit do you think that is?
I'm gonna say cherry.
Okay.
Wow. Oh, it's raspberry.
Okay. Is it good?
Yeah. I mean, it just goes everywhere.
Okay, so still wasn't 7 a.m., not even close. There was a restaurant opening at 6:30 in the back of the solarium, which I guess that's kind of odd. But this is an indoor pool area that's for adults only-ish. Has a bar. It's got the pool there. It's got 2 hot tubs. But there is an important restaurant in the back because, of course, they're opening with breakfast before the Windjammer is. And then they also are the ones that have the late night pizza. So yes, we were here with bells on right as soon as this little eatery opened in the back called Park Cafe. And as you can see, they've got a lot of options. They've got breakfast burritos, breakfast sandwiches, and they've got guacamole, salsa, and sour cream if you would like that. They've got oatmeal and grits. And then over here, they've got breakfast wraps, more breakfast burritos, tons of different breakfast sandwiches. If you like breakfast sandwiches, hit this place up. You will find something you like here. And then they had parfaits, like more than one kind of parfait. So we definitely had to try one of those too. They had fruit already cut up or fresh this way. And then they had all these pastries too. So like donuts, muffins, I mean, all kinds of stuff. So I was definitely a fan here. I got this pesto sausage, egg, tomato sandwich thing. And Dusty really loved his breakfast burrito. And with 2 breakfasts down, is that a thing? Breakfasts down. It was about 6:55. So Windjammer was going to open in like 5 minutes. So why not hold out for that third breakfast, I guess? It's all for research, guys. But it was so beautiful. It was overcast, but the sun was coming up. So this was really a cool experience. If you are a morning person, go up to the top deck when you're on your cruise at sunrise. But let's check out the Windjammer for our third breakfast. little bacon glamour shot for you here. And what we ended up with at this third breakfast of the day was some bacon, a hash brown, which was amazing, avocado toast. They had a slightly different version of that each day, and it was great. You can get an over easy egg instead of scrambled, and some fruit. Good morning. It's day 2 aboard the Enchantment of the Seas. This is a sea day. A few things I wanted to pass along that we've learned about this room. So for one, in the shower, there's just a dispenser, and it's just body wash and shampoo in one, no conditioner. But if you ask, they do have shampoo, conditioner, and body wash separate. So that we happened upon and is awesome. Also, so the TV, there's not much to watch. There's only 30 channels, and so
about 15 of them are something cruise related.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I even watched this educational thing this morning because there was nothing else. But this is pretty cool, especially for those of us with the interior rooms. It shows you where you're at, your speed, and it eventually rotates to a live feed from outside, showing
the front of the ship, I guess.
Yeah, the front of the ship. And there's a channel that is just always showing the live feed from outside. Also, there is a thermostat that I think works pretty well. We've got it pretty cool in here. I think it's working good. So we have a lot of fun things planned today. Bingo, because it is a sea day, so they try to entertain you here on the ship. So bingo, I think Dusty's going to do some table tennis tournaments, maybe some movies, maybe some trivia. So come along for day 2. And Dusty will give you a review of the shower now.
Okay, just took my first shower, and I'm not very pleased. First of all, the soap was empty. I mean, we just started the cruise, and the soap was already empty. I had like 3 squirts out of it, and it was gone. And it is just one bottle of body wash and shampoo that mixed it together. So it's not like separate. You don't have like shampoo, body wash, and conditioner or anything like that, which doesn't matter to me, but it will matter for you. The showers are made, you can tell, the most narrow spot on this room, and I'm sure the bigger rooms may be different, but the most narrow spot in the shower is where you have to stand. And so every time you're doing anything, turning around, the shower curtains attaching to your back and so every time you bend down, I hit my head on something. So, and I'm not a small guy or anything, but I'm not big, and so anybody with any size, I wouldn't see how they could actually fit around in that shower. So if you are a little bigger, make sure you check out the other rooms and maybe go that way, because it would not be a great room for you.
And then they were eating again. I ate one of these salads from the salad bar every day. They were fantastic. So I've got chicken. This is a hush puppy. Couldn't resist it. This is roasted pumpkin. Like, would never buy it, but you gotta try it. And this was the first of many burgers for Dusty. And then it was time for bingo at Spotlight. This is on deck 6 behind the schooner bar in the very back of the ship. And there was a long line to purchase bingo cards. They had pre-sales for the bingo cards earlier that day and the day before. Definitely recommend that if you don't want to wait in a long line. I've got champagne. I've got a bingo tablet. I'm living every 65-year-old woman's dream. Just missing a cigarette, I suppose.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next number. Next number out is B2. And I hear some tablets. B2, last number call. And ladies and gentlemen, we got our first standards. What are we going to say? Mr. over there on the back. Mr. over there, the Mr. Even your own family, right? Boo you. Oh my God.
Good morning. It's day 3. We're at the Cozumel port, so we've just gotten off the boat. And surprise, my best friend's getting married here in Cozumel today.
Surprise.
Yeah, surprise.
Okay.
So we're going to the Dreams Resort here. It's an all-inclusive resort for her wedding. And we'll take you along. Once we arrived at port, we explored just a little bit. We were not able to book transportation prior to our trip. Any company that I tried to book with said they weren't able to pick up and drop off at port. But I read that we shouldn't have any trouble finding transportation there at the port. We very easily and quickly found this kind sir that hooked us up with transportation. I can't remember the exact cost, but I believe we paid like $20 a person round trip, and we were fine with that. We only had like a 15 to 20 minute commute, but it sounded fair to me, and they were able to take our entire group of 11, and we liked that too. In Cancun, one time I paid for a round trip and the guy never came back to get us. So we made this guy promise that they would come back and get us, and he did us one better. He had the driver stay with us the entire time we were at the resort, so we loved that. We were there a few hours, and we were having a little bit of anxiety about getting left by the ship, even though we planned the wedding with plenty of time to get back. It just felt out of our control, and we were worried that we were going to be like scrambling for travel back to the port, so that took off a major stressor of the day for us. But this company was called Taxis Cozumel. Here's the link to contact them. Highly recommend them. And here we are, safe and sound at Dreams Cozumel. This is an absolutely gorgeous entrance to this all-inclusive resort. It's so much of it is open air. They do as much open air as possible. But let's take a look around Dreams Cozumel. One thing I loved about this resort was all the swim-up pool rooms. Seems like you could easily get a swim-up pool room, which has like always been a dream of mine. So let's take a look around. And congratulations to the new Mr. and Mrs. Scott. This was a wonderful place for a destination wedding. They took great care of Jamie. They had hair, makeup, provided floral music and a cake. But we were back at port after a very fun and busy day, and if it were up to me, we may have wandered into Senor Frogs or Margaritaville, but it was not. So we headed over to karaoke. It was at Spotlight again. And they had a cool taste of the Caribbean menu here at the bar that you could choose a libation from. They actually had a taste of the Caribbean event you could pay to attend where you got to try all these, and I would have liked that, but I didn't get to do that. So this wasn't just any karaoke. It was called Kamikaze Karaoke, where you pick your artist and the crowd picks your song at random. So you have this guy performing a song he's never heard. I thought it was quite amusing, as you can probably hear me laughing. And then we headed to the pool deck to grab some pizza and watch the wild robot on the big screen. And that was a wrap on day 3.
Good morning. We are on day 4 of our cruise. It's a 3-day today. So we've got a lot of fun things planned, and it's a beautiful day. So we're here at the belly flop competition now. And I'm going to get some good footage, but we're going to go to the casino. We're going to do some trivia, maybe a silent disco, and a formal dinner tonight.
You're going to do wonderful. Have you been training? Not that you've even planned on doing this 3 minutes ago. How did this happen?
I just got done with lunch, so I'm ready to make a wave.
Perfect. We're going to make a wave here. Step on up. Let's wait and see if we can see what he had for lunch. Hopefully not. Everybody, this is David, the artist formerly known as Scotty Too Hottie. Step on up there. Let's count him down in 3, 2, 1. Hop!
Okay, so we did just feel inspired to order the espresso martini and the old fashioned. So we'll let you know how those taste here at Valero's Midship Deck 5 bar. What are you having?
It's old fashioned. That's all I asked for. It does have a cherry in there, but I gave that to Allison beforehand. It's an old fashioned. It's pretty good. It doesn't. It's not smoky or anything. It's a little smoky. There at the end, I can taste a little smokiness, but I'm not sure what kind of bourbon or anything like that. But it's a solid old fashioned. I'm like Allison with old fashions. I don't have the sophisticated palate. But that's cool.
You see?
Yeah. That's awesome. Did you drink my drink?
Yeah.
Give me the damn thing back.
I finally got my espresso martini, and I'm so excited because look what it says on it, Allison. They put my name on it. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I've only had a couple of these in my life, but I know they're really cool to drink. So it's really good. It's okay. Okay, I don't know if it's like my favorite thing ever. Seems like the one I had before, not here, but another place, was like kind of like a White Russian. So this has a little bit of a White Russian feel, but it's mainly very, very coffee-y. But I'm knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm getting alcohol and I'm getting espresso, right? Okay. All right. Yeah.
I see you taste I can see the little sugar.
The what?
They had like sugar, rocks of sugar on it or whatever. Like a sugar in the raw, the big chunks of sugar. But it looks like they may have. I could see them on there before you start drinking it.
Oops.
No, I'm sure that happened.
Okay.
Is it sweet at all?
Not very. You taste it.
Okay. Wow. Okay, I can definitely see how I like it more than you do, because I don't like. I told her she knows I don't like a lot of I drink my coffee black. I've made myself do that over the years, and now I'm a coffee. I'm not quite a coffee snob. I don't care what kind of coffee, but I like it black. And anything coffee, like coffee flavored stuff, always has that taste of coffee with cream in it. And this doesn't really. It's just like sweetened. It's almost just like coffee with some sugar in it. That's how my dad likes it. It's just coffee and sugar. And I like that better than the coffee with like the creamer taste. I can't stand that a lot of times. That doesn't have that at all. So I can see why you don't like it. It's not. There's not a creamy taste to it at all. It's just coffee and sugar. And so, but you don't taste any kind of alcohol. I mean, it's all coffee. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I feel like the old fashioned, it almost, I know it's not, because the one thing they do here with their drinks is they're strong drinks.
Yeah.
And so I know this is a strong drink, but it almost could be like a premix or something like that. It's that it tastes that way, but I'm sure it's just a good old fashioned. So maybe besides for the nachos, right now the old fashioned may be the best thing.
Next, we headed over to the silent disco. If you don't know what this is or have never done this, it's when it's a DJ party, but they don't have traditional large speakers. They hand out headphones, and there's a few different channels you can choose from, and so you're listening to whatever you want to listen to. But to me, the best part is that if you turn your headphones off, then everybody seems like they're crazy because they're probably singing when they would never be singing because they can't hear themselves. And then there's going to be different people dancing to different songs, and so some people are dancing to this beat, some are dancing to that beat. So it's so much fun. It's hilarious. We did this on the Disney cruise, and it was just like the highlight of the trip. So enjoy.
Oh, you don't know you're beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful.
Yes, the way that you flip your hair gets.
You understand. Want you so
Wedding
desperately.
Wedding song?
What?
Wedding song?
Yes. No, you're beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful.
Silent disco wasn't as good as.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Yeah. I don't know if I wonder if they've all been like that.
Yeah, they had 2 stations and they were both pop. So.
Look at me. Well, like a pop guy.
Yeah. We need like some country or some oldies. And I might want to do pop too, but I might want to do country or oldies. Right?
I don't want to do pop. There was one. I said one of the first songs was like Imagine Dragons. I kind of like them. After that, it went downhill quick.
Yeah, and so we're gonna go to. We might as well go downstairs.
Okay.
We're gonna go to dinner at 6, and then we're doing family karaoke at 7:30.
So come along.
So Dusty's gonna sing today.
Are we sure about that?
Because Allison did yesterday.
Did you really sing though?
What do you mean?
You stood up there, but
I definitely sang. What are you talking about?
yeah, all for about you did it for about 15 seconds.
No, I carried it.
He actually had to start playing the music, the words, because y'all weren't. It's a directional mic, and none of you put it up to you, so you never could hear any of you. Sorry, sorry to drop that bomb on you, but.
I'm finding out for the first time that we sucked really bad at karaoke.
Hey, do you have my card?
Yeah.
I hope. You didn't suck. Nobody hurt you. Nobody knows how you did.
But, so that's sucking. Even if you do good or you do bad, like, you got to do something.
This is Riley Blaylock.
Okay, Riley Blaylock. I'll get us in.
Making the cards. Jeez.
We did not know that. What do you mean it's a directional mic? I mean, we put it up to Remy. What do you mean? What's wrong? What?
You heard Remy one time.
I never heard Remy. I wondered because I never heard Remy.
Yeah, you couldn't hear any of you because you can't hold a directional mic. It accepts the sound that's directly into it. There's only certain mics that you can just put up and it'll just take all the sound around you. That wasn't one of them. So you have to put it in front of your mouth to hear it. And so the majority of the time we couldn't hear any of you.
So we were the only people at karaoke then that they had to play the music.
No. Remember, there are a couple others that didn't have any clue what. So they did like the one we went to yesterday was like, they called it kamikaze karaoke, I think is what they called it.
Yeah.
And so all you could do was select your artist.
Yeah.
You couldn't actually select the song. And he first started off, like every artist, they would have a certain number of hits. And he would just go up to somebody and ask them to pick a number between however many songs they had. You just picked a number, and that's the song they sang. And then, of course, after a few songs and people didn't know the songs, he started letting everybody just choose the song. Just whatever artist, they yelled out a song they knew. So y'all knew the song, but y'all never put the mic up to anybody's mouth so you could hear it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to now break that news to my best friend.
I wouldn't. Just leave it like it is.
No. It wasn't
like a competition. I mean, it's not like y'all are breaking into the music industry.
If I have to live with knowing this, that like we sucked at karaoke.
It doesn't mean you sucked. It means you didn't know that the microphone worked like that and nobody heard you.
So that's worse than sucking.
Actually, there were a whole lot of people that sang last night that we wish we hadn't have heard them.
And I would have been no different. Okay. All right. Well.
Goodbye, people.
Bye.